Alright, so, everyone's
Yeah,
here.
but that's
No,
um,
Yes, everyone is here.
I'm missing.
Okay, so, we're just going to jump right into this discussion. I know I have Overwatch on the screen, but, that's because I don't have RWBY Grimm Eclipse installed anymore since I already did everything I could with it. No, shut up! Don't laugh. It's not funny.
I just woke up, man. I just fucking woke up.
Alright, then let's wake you up with, discussion of RWBY Grimm Eclipse.
Let's scream in his ear. Can we do that?
No, we can't scream in his ear because you'd be screaming in my ear too, and I don't want to hear that.
Take off your headset, Napa.
Fuck you. So, the first thing on the outline is to talk about how we met and the experiences we had during the time we all played the game. So, basically, to sum it all up, really.
Worst day of my life. No.
No. Chris Senpai knows he loves me. He's just afraid to show it.
I dreaded the day I met you, is what he
No, but I was
Hi,
actually...
you may notice why I'm here. Well, it all started this day.
long, long ago, in a land known as Remnant, paved with the Grimm, I was doing a live stream as a strapping young lad embracing YouTube for the very first time. And I came across a man by the name of Random Kush.
Yeah?
Because no one ever had a fucking
Oh, okay.
headset in that game. So finding anyone with a headset was
guess
like
I'll be back.
super rare.
So I'll be out of this discussion for a minute.
But we met, we talked a bit because like he said, no one had a headset on the game, and we found out that we had very strong interests. I mean, we didn't find these things out right away. We had to interact for a while, see if we were compatible. Oh god damn it! See
You're
if
not making this easy. You're not making this better.
Because, I mean, like, at this point, we might as well be a couple. We're sharing each other's hentai. Like, at this point, we might as well be married. But, we got to talking, and I don't know. I mean, like, at first I thought that he was white. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I assumed his race. It's 2018.
I was super whitewashed.
Yeah, no, he was like one of the whitest people I've ever met. Just so nice and outgoing. I swear to God, I wanted to shoot him for being better than me. Like, it's like as if he didn't have a single care in the world. He was just there, you know. No. He was there. He was here. He was there. He was everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear, as the Met Pet would say. But he was just outgoing and easy to talk to, and I just felt so safe around him. And you know, as you guys probably already know, I worked hard on that platinum, but I probably wouldn't have worked as hard or, like, forced myself to try and platinum a game that was already dead had there not been people online. So, I kind of blame Kush for the fact that I platinumed RWBY. So.
Yeah, didn't I have the DLC for RWBY too? I feel like I had the DLC for it first.
We both had
and I was playing.
Yeah. And I was like, no, bro, how did you mod the game? How did you get Juniper? And he's like, nah, man, it's DLC. So then I hopped onto the thing. I was like, holy shit, he's right. So he was playing.
Then we found the greatest power known to man, Nora.
Ah, yes, the catalyst of catastrophe.
She's so fucking broken.
basically her range attacks are just like god tier. But before we get ahead of ourselves, before we even begin to get ahead of ourselves, I mean, I really wish that he was here right now so that we could talk to him about it. But actually, you know what? No, because I didn't meet Mist until after you started talking to me about Persona. Because I myself didn't get into it until after we met Mist. Which is ironic, because we also met Mist on RWBY.
RWBY, yeah, but he's not here right now. Please leave a message at the Mrs. No, I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Please leave a message at their Sentinels, bitch. Please.
Pretty much.
Yo, he just got through his second time fighting him, and he lost. He's like, oh, I'm gonna just play Bacchus, and I'm just gonna keep blindsiding him, and then suddenly he's been getting dark speared. Like not you know, an actual spear. It was more like a dark vortex, I guess. It was as if he was trapping you in a barrier, and then crushing your soul. And he's like, yo, fuck it, I'm done right now. And I guess that's when you joined. I guess while we wait for Mist, we can talk about the experiences we had in the game. Let's start off with the horde mode with the randos, because I know that we had some pretty classy adventures during that time. It was amazing. I remember we each had a station. I believe it was on the Mountain Glen area, you know, the one at nighttime. And we were trying to get. I think you and me were already going for, you know, like the no turret thing. But like
no, we were still trying to level up Nora to rank 10.
Was that like around one of the first places? No, I think you were like rank 3 when we started, and I was like rank 1.
Yeah, because I introduced you into leveling up your rank. Because when we first started off, I was rank 3, and I had told you about gaining rank in the game, and you're like, huh, that is something. So that put you on a downward spiral to platinum in RWBY Grimm Eclipse. I still have yet to get past that 150 alpha bale bullshit.
Even though I gave you a guide. I gave you a guide to beating it. You're just like, nah, man, this is just taking too long. At least you didn't have to farm the red soldiers, though. Although that was...
Yeah, but those are easy to find, but they're hard to kill. And assholes.
I was just about to say, like Phase's final form, but at the same time, Phase's final form isn't hard to find, it's embarrassingly hard to kill. But he is the world's largest asshole. I'm on you.
I'll wait for Mist until I say what I'm about to say, but yeah, that 150 Beowulf quest was, ugh, I hated it. I think I actually passed it, like, because that was like one of the things I needed to rank up, and I think I passed it. I just haven't touched it.
Why don't you go for the platinum? It won't take you that long. Plus, you got a master RWBY player with you. I can help you with literally anything.
Nah.
Man.
But
actually,
yeah, RWBY was a fun time. I really enjoyed the storm mode, even though it gets kind of boring after you play it constantly.
You know what? Mist probably won't.
Like,
come back.
I'm pretty sure we played through the story just about 100 times.
Well, maybe together, but like by myself, I probably made up 80 of those times.
Like, the story mode was good. I enjoyed it, going through the different areas of RWBY and even through the original content areas. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. Horde mode was where it was at, though. That's where a lot of the fun happened.
Well, actually, I want to touch back on what you said about the content, because the next topic here is to talk about if Rooster Teeth has abandoned the game as a whole. Maybe some new idea for some DLC that they could add. Something that we would want to see.
Team Crow! Team Crow!
Well, I mean, it's Team Stark, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I would love to see Raven in the game.
Nah, fam. I'm on Team Crow. Fuck that. I'm on Team Crow.
What? Nah. Team Raven is where it's at.
Dude, like, even if they were to put Raven, how the hell would she work?
What do you mean, how the hell would she work? Her sidestep would be like a
Would she just be able to turn... Would she be able to turn into a bird and freaking katana someone to death? I mean, that could work.
She's the mom making a difference. She dropped her kid. She dropped her kid off with her husband and left. That's the new standard for women these days.
Were they really husband and wife? Because...
Well, I mean, if you can get her in a wedding dress, then I guess maybe, yeah. But I mean, like, the fact of the matter is... Hold on.
I can find something like that right now.
We need to talk about how in the heck someone like Tai Yang scored a woman like Raven in the first place.
Can we talk about how he... Wait, no, oh my god, hold on. So, Tai Yang got with Raven first.
Yeah.
And then after Raven dipped out, he got with Ruby's mom. Tai Yang, you bastard!
No, hold on. You forgot the most important part. Now that Summer is gone, he tried to get with Crow, but because he doesn't like Tai Yang,
to be honest, I still have yet to finish the latest season of RWBY.
Kick him!
I like 3 more episodes
I get back
left.
and the first thing I hear is you saying
it.
you haven't finished it? Motherfucker!
I have like 3 episodes left.
Demonetization.
Man, you were never monetized in the first place.
Anyway, Kush, I believe that you had some words about Mist in the first
Yes.
season, right?
Can we talk about how grossly overpowered some of the characters were in RWBY were compared to the others?
In the game or in the show?
In the game?
Okay, Nora. Let's just talk about this for a second. Whenever you can stand away and just shoot a grenade just by holding R2 down and win everything, there's a fucking problem.
No. There's a problem in this. You can solo horde mode with one character with no turrets at all. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, that was one of the trophies. Play horde mode, but make sure you don't drop below 80%
Yeah, that
in
shit was
total
hard as hell.
health. I was like, what?
But me and Napa literally just teamed up 2 Doras. And then whenever we had the money, we got shotgun turrets.
I mean, with Nora, wrecking out money isn't really all that hard in the first place.
Exactly.
I mean, you're basically robbing from your teammates.
Get some with the first wave. Oh, 10,000. Huh. Didn't even really break a sweat.
Yeah, let's just go through the characters real quick.
Alright.
Ruby's fast and agile, but her frickin' gun sucks.
Bro, here's the thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but like, here's the thing. I have maxed out everything for every character, so I can tell you what's good and what's not for RWBY. You don't want to go for her eye
I remember
shots.
watching you.
I know goddamn well you do not want to go for those explosions. I mean, the only real reason why you would go for them is to yell explosion over and over again. But I would literally only.
And
use
I
the lightning
remember
one.
doing that. I remember watching you level up Ruby. And as soon as you got it, you're like, "Oh, this is underwhelming." I was like, and I just kept saying "explosion" every time you got your third shot off.
It's like explosion.
Because I think that's when I got you into Konosuba.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were like, "Is it funnier than this show? Is it funnier than this show?" I was like, "Dude, I guarantee you will laugh your ass off
Bro,
when you
Kazuma
watch
was an
it."
asshole. Kazuma was an asshole.
The first episode,
They're all
you're like,
assholes. Actually.
Okay,
They're not
totally
really-
unrelated. But for a phone game, this game is fucking beautiful.
"Okay, you're leave." Anyway, Ruby's fast and agile. I loved her all. Just being able to spin and draw enemies in.
Or the other one which knocks them back.
I loved the counter action that you can do if you get monsters to a certain point of health, or if they attack, you can just counter them, and everyone's counter was unique to them. Each one did something. Her gun was garbage, and her passive abilities that she got exclusively were also fun. Yang, holy crap. Why was Yang so bad?
I
Okay,
mean, like, when you really think about it, Ring is a brawler, right? But her range attack was the strongest part of her kit aside from her ult.
Okay, here's the thing. Once you got Yang to level, once you maxed Yang to level 10, she was godlike because she has, because she's a brawler type, she has combos that can instantly stun enemies. She can basically set up team combos for her team with just square triangle, which was just basically a single punch into a rising punch that was guaranteed. Oh wait, no, that was her square triangle was.
I believe it was
she
just
would
a charged
she would go
up
into a
punch.
flurry of punch.
No, that's her forward triangle.
You sure?
Yeah, the forward triangle was the flurry. The regular triangle was a charged up punch.
But yeah, like, as soon as you got Yang to level 10, which was really fucking hard because her ranged attacks were garbage. Only good thing about her ranged attacks was that she was able to summon home-seeking rockets, but then again, they didn't do a lot of damage. A lot of her damage came from supporting her team by setting up team combos.
No. I disagree. I think that most of her damage came from halfway dying.
Like, if they incorporated like something like her semblance, where the lower the health she got, the more stronger she got, then that'd be better.
But then they would have to remove the element of automatic healing.
Yeah, but
This game was fucked from the beginning.
it was fun. It was fun, but the characters are grossly different in terms of power. Blake was, oh my god, Blake.
Blake was the perfect Team RWBY character. She's the only one capable of pulling her weight.
Like, I found out the true power of Blake, and I have never forgotten about it.
Yo, if you want a
The
meme
fact
for
that
this
she
game,
can-
that is Blake in a nutshell. Just anime references for days.
Every time I played her, I would always go for one path, because she had gun salvo and something else. I forgot what it, or,
It was like
but basically,
shadow rings, I believe they were called.
well, her semblance was really awesome. I really enjoyed just creating Oh,
Clone, shadow
that's
clone,
it.
fire clone.
Yang's ultimate. Yang's ultimate was fucking badass. I'm sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just jumping up in the air and just making a wall that no one can get through was so good in horde mode.
Not to mention the fact that it completely referenced her trailer. Whereas
Yeah.
everyone else's all just had no real emphasis on it.
Yeah, Ruby, you just became a Beyblade. Yang, you just created a giant fucking wall, which was amazing. That was one of her best things about her, was that you could just create a giant wall with her ult. I
Yo!
loved it.
And
It did
Blake had
so
that
much damage
vortex
for an
going
ult.
for her, so.
Blake, she I really found a love for Blake like towards the end of my time playing RWBY. Like I would definitely re-download the game just to play as Blake
Or Nora.
because her ranged attack. Yeah, I kind of got burned out on Nora, but
How do
she's
you
still
get
fun.
burned out on Nora? I swear to God that she's the only character I play other than Pierre or Jean.
But Blake is fun. I really enjoyed playing Blake. Her ranged attack, where she can just send out a sideways get 10 show and
Can I
stun
just
everything
stop for
in a
1
line
second?
was amazing.
Off-topic comment, but Napa, I
Yeah.
quit this game. They gave me Shimada. I'm
Ah,
quitting.
you get the fat fuck who got blown up by the...
You know, I also got Farlene.
I also got Farley. Did you get Tiny yet?
No.
That's good. Anyway, don't forget Blake's Blades of Blood. You know those the 3 slashes she sends out with her range attack. If you go her other
Yeah, gun or something salvo. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, it's not, you know, it's
It
not
looked
good for
cool.
any mode, but like it's just amazingly looking.
Yeah, it looked cool, but it didn't have the useful. All it did was do damage, and it probably did more damage than the sideways Getensho. But the Getensho had more utility because it
I
dealt
got
damage,
Welch.
passed through everything, and stunned. Wow.
I got
The
Welch,
gun
too.
salvo only did damage, and it stopped at the first enemy hit.
Alright, so I believe let's move
I
on
got
to
a
my
character in a
son.
swimsuit. I got Summer Miki.
That's unfair, because you haven't even played the actual game she's from.
Yeah, no, I wanted Miria. Man, I'm sick and tired of them giving me fucking
to
copies.
Weiss now, before we get off topic.
Well, I haven't even done talking about Blake.
Oh.
Blake, when you finish leveling her up, I really enjoyed her ult. You never want to go for ice. Her ice ult was garbage. Oh my god. Her ice
fire one
ice
was way
version of
better.
her.
I
Well,
think
the thing with that was that in order to get her fire one, you had to first unlock it by like defeating 1,000 enemies with her ult.
which, I mean, it's not that hard. She with her,
No,
if
no,
you
it's
have-
not.
If you
It-
build her right, you can get that a lot quicker than it looks.
Yeah, because you can branch off into either earth or ice. Earth is absolutely what you need because it does explosion damage and it's awesome. And then after you beat the 1,000 enemies with her ult, it goes down to the fire one, which is the best one because it's just a landmine. Like what I always did was I would always grab the Getensho and the gun tree, and then I would grab the earth and waited until I got the fire. Then I would grab the tree for the health and all of the ult charges. So no matter what, I would just be shooting, fill up all 3, then activate all of my ults. So I really enjoyed playing Blake because of that ult.
I really enjoyed playing her mostly because of the fact that her fighting style hasn't really changed from what it was in the show. It was more or less, I want to say it was actually quicker than the actual way that she fights in the show. And you could just juggle enemies with most of her combos.
Yeah, like in the show, I don't think there's like been very opportune times for the characters to actually fight. Like, there have been some fights, but not like not like Crow versus that one Scorpion dude. Not like big brawls between just two characters where you see all of their moves. It's...
Well, I wouldn't say that it was, 100% a brawl or like... But, I mean, we did see that brief match between Juniper and RWBY that, I guess, well, there was no, like, show... Well, I mean, they did use their semblances here and there, but, like, there was no real, like, full-on Skeege war. But we did get to see how they would pair up against each other.
Yeah. All right, on to Weiss.
On to Ice Queen.
On to Budget Nora.
I mean, that's basically what she was when you really think about it, because her range is...
Yeah.
It was... Okay, so I could take this 50-50, because at one point there was the... you got it to, like, level 2. I believe it was level 2. I don't know exactly what the... It's the second one going down from her range, where it shot a couple of little things out with each shot. It was like, boom.
Okay, so for her range attacks, she had 2 branches. She had one that would shoot a freezing ice beam, and then she had one which just increased the amount of shots that she shot. You never wanted to go for the ice beam. The ice beam was garbage, because all it did was just freeze an enemy, and you can't do any other damage. That's it.
It was good against the Alpha Bale, not the Alpha, the Mutant Bales. For a short time.
Because you could just freeze them.
But that's only if you were in a team, because like they'll just run up on you while you're shooting them.
But even then, you couldn't damage enemies when they were frozen in the ice block. With it was just bad all around to use that one. I just went for the one that increased her damage and shots. Like, I really enjoyed that one because it if you chose that path, it added a stun effect to her missiles.
Oh right, that is true. It did do that.
It was like a flinch. Like, they would just be flinching every time they got hit. It had really good tracking.
Supernaturally good tracking.
Well, yeah, if they got to a certain point, it'd just spin around them until it fizzled out. Her counter was fun.
Especially when you level it up, because then her counter automatically freezes enemies that she hits.
Yes, it was. Her counter is really good. Then her...
Oh shit, we didn't talk about team attacks.
Well, we'll get into it, because Blake really didn't have that many team attacks. Oh, you know what? No, I lied.
Yeah,
Blake
well,
did have a...
Blake's
team attack.
She can finish
Blake's
her own
team attack. Blake's team attacks were fucking broken.
I mean, first of all, the amount of times that you swing around them and do damage to them over time, already broken. But for the most part, you were hitting enemies around them, even when you didn't have the ability to do that. Because that's how...
Yeah, Blake's team attacks at rank 1 were just attack the target, do a little bit of damage. At rank 2, her team attacks started affecting other things nearby. At rank 3, you just dealt a shit ton of damage in an area. I really enjoyed that part of Blake a lot. Blake is one of my favorite characters in RWBY on Eclipse. She's really fun to play.
Yang's team attack, I believe it was just that one punch in like in a single...
Yeah, it was just a one punch, punch.
It was really just shit, to be honest.
You can rank it up all the way to rank 3 to affect things behind, but
it's still
hers was just mainly get in there, punch, kill an enemy, get in there, punch, kill an enemy. RWBY's was...
I honestly
Oh,
loved
Ruby's was fun.
Ruby had
Ruby's
that-
was
that-
fun.
that-
She just jumped in the air and spun and dealt a shit ton of damage.
And
That
if you
was
leveled it
fun.
up, then it also creates rocks that knocks other enemies behind them back. So it was also good for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were to get it, you would just be showing off, because it just hinders her to have any like you can go up one rank with her team attack, but that's as far as you should really go, because that's just showing off. Back to Weiss, her team attack. Oh my god, I loved her team attack. It was like wide range
her
freeze.
Her team attack her team attack would be where she ran up to an enemy, stabbed him with her rapier, jumped up in the air, and landed with a ice blast. At rank 3, you could end up freezing opponents with it, which was really good. But it only worked against like smaller enemies that you can do a lot more damage with. Because if they were near Alpha Beowulfs, it'd be really hard because it would be really hard to freeze an Alpha Beowulf. You couldn't just freeze the Alpha Beowulf. You had to knock them until they were able to be team attacked.
Yeah, yeah. But even then, it's still hard to team attack them because of their rapid recovery, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, their team trying to team attack an alpha monster in this game was pretty much impossible. You can affect them by attacking other creatures around them, like say just a regular creep. You can affect them just by team attacking one of those. But trying to team attack the smaller monsters, then that would be a problem. Weiss's ultimate though was fucking. I think it had the largest range for an ultimate in this. Second largest range.
Yeah, because I was supposed to say Reds can teleport basically all.
I know,
over the
fucking
map.
Reds.
It's funny. It's funny. He has the largest range, but for some reason he can't hit the mutant scorpion.
But we'll get into that later.
A wide range freeze. Just a massive range.
Weiss was the budget Nora. She dealt a lot of damage with her ranged attacks. You weren't really supposed to go in and attack with her sword. You were supposed to stand in the back and cast magic. I really enjoyed that part of playing Weiss, just because she can contest with Nora. Not well, but she can contest with those ranged attacks.
Next would be the DLC items, or DLC characters. Team Juniper was the only real DLC team, but they did have the school uniforms and stuff for each character. The school uniforms, the ball.
And the best uniform ever. The best costume ever was John in a dress. Best DLC ever.
Let's touch base on John. John.
You mean the most busted fucking support ever?
Bro, it's not even the fact that he's just busted as a support though. Like it's just he's busted all around. I've never seen such brutal.
He is the most broken character in RWBY Glim Eclipse. Like Nora has a shit ton of damage, but that's fine. She has a fucking grenade launcher. John is fucking John. Let's get into him real quick.
We were obviously not even dealing with like seasons 1 through 3 John. We were dealing with season 5 John.
John and RWBY Grim Eclipse. Oh my god, I'm fucking tired. John and RWBY Grim.
John and RWBY Grim Eclipse.
Exactly. He was fun. So John has a attack where he can attack, jump up in the air, and slam his sword down. I believe it was moving with moving with the left stick, pushing square, and triangle. No, I'm sorry, no. It was dashing with R1 into triangle. It was dashing into triangle. Because doing that would cause John to rise up in the air, attacking multiple times, then slamming his sword back down into the ground.
And that was just
John
part of the basic combo.
Yeah, I don't even think I did anything else other than dash triangle or hold triangle. That was pretty much all I've ever done with John. John is such a strong character to the point where if you were to let's just talk about his ultimate real quick.
Alright.
John's ultimate at base rank 1 would grant 50% attack.
No.
That was amazing.
Wait, was it 50 or was it 25?
Yeah, no, it was 50% attack, and then you can upgrade it to 100.
That's still impressive for a rank base 1, though.
It is 50% bonus attack in RWBY Eclipse. Oh my god. I fucking hate
Grimm
myself.
Eclipse.
Jean's ultimate in RWBY. That's it. I'm just saying RWBY. It was really overpowered at level 1. And then, as soon as you got 2 points, you can instantly level up. And as soon as you got Jean to level 3, he can get,
Okay,
his
so what
ultimate.
we talking about now?
We're talking
about Jean.
We're talking about Mr. Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay.
We were actually
Yeah,
about to talk about that one.
So as soon as you got Jean to like rank 2 or rank 3, you can upgrade his ultimate into
Rank 2 is the speed boost.
No, he.
And I think
Because
max rank is since
He had two paths that he could do.
Right.
It
Path
was
of Sonic.
no,
and the
I'm
Path
sorry.
of
No,
Ender.
he had 3. He had 3 paths because
Yeah.
his first path that you had unlocked was just grant 100 bonus damage to all attacks, which was insanely dumb. His next one that you also had unlocked was Sonic, where you just
Don't forget
gave
the
a
double
50%
duration.
speed boost.
You mean the sensory?
Before
No,
all that is the
you
double
would-
duration.
Sensory.
What do you mean double duration?
It doubled the duration of his ultimate.
No, because he had his base ult, then he had his 3 paths. It was increased damage, then it was increased speed, and then it was a sensi beam.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but he also had a double duration. I don't know if it was on the ultimate side or if it was.
No,
on
it was on his
the-
passive side. Yeah, I think that was his rank 10 thing that he got.
Speed boost.
But yeah, he had Knuckles, Sonic, or Krillin. Those were his 3 ultimate paths.
Whoa, bro, how
we
you gonna
really
go
gonna
from
compare to
Sonic
that?
all the way to Krillin? That's gay.
I mean, can you deny
I
it
mean,
though?
I did yell sensu beam whenever someone died, even though it clearly did nothing. But
You did it just to piss people off. That's the only reason.
yeah, I'm
When-
about to
when-
download the game right now. I'm about to see if I can find.
I chose the Sonic path a lot just because of how retarded it was. It was so much fun.
We gotta go
just to
fast.
troll. It was so much fun to just troll your team with the speed boost,
That's more
especially
of a
during
good
some of the
ult
big
for, like,
bosses.
fucking. That's like a good ult for fucking horde mode. Whenever you have to get to a fucking node that's being damaged really badly fast.
Yeah.
Other than that,
it
it's a
was really good
fucking
for-
sin.
for that. it was a lot of fun playing Jean. He didn't have a ranged attack. He did have a team attack thing where if you held down triangle, you can attack in an area.
Attack. It was more like a homing shield bash.
Yeah, but still, it would still grant him to run the distance. But his next team was the team tree. Basically, if you held down triangle with John, which was the most dumbest thing I've ever seen, you can charge up a sword stab into the ground that would deal damage in an area. Now, if you had rank 10 John, you can equip the Slugger ability, which increases the chances of getting a team attack. Well, Jean was the only one in the game to have a tree centered around team attacks. It was because at level 1 you had to get a certain amount of kills, or you reached level 5, and then it dealt. It would increase the chances of further getting a team attack. Then after that,
Oof!
what was his rank 3 for his team attack?
His rank 3 is, I believe, Ultimate Team John Mastery. John can finish his own team attacks.
No. It was something else. It was in his tree, where it was in his
final
support
dash
tree.
and slash mastery. Greatly increases the damage and adds even more slices.
No. That's for him to finish his own team attacks. I'm talking about his not his ultimate tree and not his team attack tree. It was
His heavy tree?
Yes, his heavy attack tree. That's it.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Team John Mastery. It can make him finish his own. Oh wait, automatically spawns a team attack on all nearby enemies if they are weakened.
That's it. Yeah. Basically, if you got a monster to a certain certain percentage of health, it would just automatically get a team attack marker above their head. It was dumb.
Especially when you have multiple people, and because when you have multiple people, it spawns more enemies. All you have to do is hold triangle, which, by the way, I'd like to add, I've read this somewhere online. His charge triangle does the same damage as a mid-upgraded RWBY ult. So all you have to do is just hold triangle while they're weak. If you don't possibly kill them, I don't see how you couldn't. But it would just spawn a massive amount of team attacks, and your team could just go off on the enemy.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of the team attacks would come from too. Was just Jean being Jean. I think a priority that you wanted to do a lot of the times was grab the increased ult damage, then max out his heavy tree, and then get Slugger, and get. I think you had enough points to just get your get health, and then get your upgrade for ult. So a lot of the times as playing Jean, I would just be a team attack support. Like I would dash triangle, which would launch me into the air and do an automatic, fully charged triangle heavy attack, which was what I did all the time. Like, yeah, I tried doing the square combo. It doesn't do as much damage, and you don't really get the satisfaction of helping your team. Like, you get a lot of points just from setting up team attacks. But if you would just attack with dash triangle, you would get some damage off, and then you would deal a fully charged triangle, which would most of the time, which still does the AoE. So it would still set up team attacks for your entire team, especially with Slugger equipped, which increase the chances of team attacks. So Jean, all in all, was the most broken character in RWBY.
In other
Hands
words,
down.
he was the ultimate teammate.
He was, and it was amazing.
But in the very same sense as the fact that he was the ultimate teammate, he could very well solo the game with just playing John.
Yeah, you could, actually, because you could just tank everything.
Oh
And
yeah,
his
here's the
damage.
thing I was talking about. It was under best teammate ever. It doubles the duration of Jean's ultimate team buffs.
Yeah, yeah.
Still think it's gay though.
Yeah, you got that after killing. That was your Hunter
500
Mastery
enemies.
one where. Yeah, that was your Hunter Mastery one where you had to kill 500 enemies. But that was fun. John is one of my favorite characters in the game.
Oh, we left out one of the most important parts. Team synergy. Jean fire. Jean gains progress towards ultimate when a teammate performs a team attack set up by him.
Yes, that was retarded. I remember just setting up team attacks and you would just constantly be going off, and I would always have my ultimate up.
Alright, so now that we covered Jean,
Now we go into the fun character, and
yeah. Let's go to Nora!
okay, so Nora is bullshit. Nora has a grenade launcher and a hammer. Nora's ultimate. Okay, so let's get into the bread and butter of Nora. Nora is insane. She also reminds me of Nyan Cat when she's running. So Nora's bread and butter attacks would be her grenade launcher. She would fire a volley of grenades 3 times. The last one in the shape of a heart and does, small amounts of AoE damage. The best thing that you could get for Nora was
Love Shock, the ranged mastery.
because on Nora you didn't want to go past your second, because she had 3 range, she had 2 upgrades for her range, but you never wanted to go past the first, because, oh wait, no, because it branched off, right?
Yeah, it goes
At the
tier
end.
1, tier 2, tier 3A, and tier 3B.
Okay, so her tier 2 just flatly increased her damage.
Mm-hmm.
One of her tier 1s that you automatically have unlocked would leave the grenades on the floor, and they would act as landmines. The one that was the best one, though, was the one that you had to unlock. You had to get, how many ranged attack kills?
200 enemies with ranged attacks is Nora.
Yeah. That one was the really good one because once you got that, it would leave, after your final attack, it would land on the ground and they would explode, they would explode instantly and they would pass electricity through anyone in the area.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. She dealt so much damage as soon as you got that.
It was even better when you had Power Surge equipped, because it was the power modifier
Yeah.
that doubles every time you land successive hits.
Yeah. That was her Hunter Mastery one, right?
Yeah, it was defeat 750 enemies with Nora.
Which was honestly easy. just go into legendary or into Eclipse mode as Nora and you can instantly get that. It's so much fun. But she had an ability where she could just constantly gain
Oh, that's
damage.
insane! Oh
No
my
matter
God.
how many stacks, she would constantly double her damage, and it was retarded.
Apparently,
how
with
much
Power
damage she would
Surge
put
equipped,
out.
when you do enough attacks in a short period of time, Nora completely ignores guard, deals all plus 100% damage until she loses the effect. Now, I knew about the plus 100% damage until her combo is
You didn't
broken.
know about the guard part?
No! Like, I swear I got...
Yeah.
Yo, she just... That's ridiculous.
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
she got to a point where shooting grenades at people just said, nah, fam, you're not guarding against anything.
This is how you tell them you're not grimming today.
But Nora's range attacks are the strongest range attacks I've ever seen in a game.
Damn.
But, yeah. she just had an ability where she could just constantly stack damage if she kept attacking. And I'm pretty sure... No, that was Blake. That was Blake who had that. Because Blake also had something where she would gain stacks. And she would gain stacks based off how many times she's hitting, and it would fall off.
Blake had
and
something that would make it so that the time between hits lasted for the combo.
Well, she had something, and then if she would get hit, she would automatically lose all the stacks, but she had something else where if you used it, it would basically... it would either increase the duration to where you can start landing hits again, or it would just cut the stacks in half. It was something like that. But Nora's basic attacks were pretty simple. You would usually use them if enemies got too close. I think the best one was square, square, triangle, where she would swing her hammer. No, it was square. It was pushing square 3 times and then triangle. With that, you would hit your hammer 3 times, and then you'd spin rapidly in an area around you that would just basically knock everything back. That was what you would use when enemies got too close, because Nora's ranged attacks had an arc where if enemies got too close, your grenades would just be going over them. And that's why I say Weiss was a really hard contestant for Nora, because Nora's attacks would just go over the enemy's heads if they got too close, while Weiss's was just in their face constantly with really good tracking.
Even if you
And with Weiss, if they got closer, they took more damage. Like it's not like, oh no, you just take a set amount of damage. If you got hit with all those missiles from Weiss, you took all of the damage. Unlike with Nora, where some of the grenades would just go over her head. But Nora's team attack would just be, she would shoot lightning from her hammer and it would deal damage. It would end up chaining to other enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Nora's ultimate, which was she would basically jump up in the air, charge her hammer, and then strike down with lightning. Or strike with her hammer down.
Well,
the first one just did smaller.
Right, you were right the first time, but that's at the max charge.
Yeah, that was at rank 3. Whenever I ran Nora, I was always max out the ranged attack and then get the damage multiplier, and then I would only put 1 point into her ultimate, so she could just get the increased range on her ult. So that way, because you would really ult charge fast with Nora. So you really didn't need, if you didn't have your ult when enemies were nearby, that's when you would use the melee combo to spin and knock everyone away. But most of the time, if enemies got too close to you, you would just ult, and that would murder everything underneath you.
Alright, so next let's get in some info about Pyrrha. You know, the current ghost girl. The Ash Queen. She turned penny into quarters.
Oh, yeah. Pyrrha was the best fighter in that game, in RWBY. She is the best melee
fighter.
Yeah.
No buffs
mostly
needed.
Pyrrha. Yeah, a lot of Pyrrha's things were just increasing her combos, because one of her combos was that she would just get extra attacks, and then at rank 3, one of her upgrades was she would just get extra attacks added on to her basic attack, and it went from just a regular 4-hit combo on her square to a 7 to 8-hit combo on her square.
Yes.
And then at rank 3, it would add a third attack to her her heavy. Normally heavies were just one attack, but it would add a second and third attack to Pyrrhus.
Let me just
Next was her team attack, where she just freaking threw a spear, jumped to them, and ripped them a new hole. That you could then upgrade to attack everyone around it. It would deal damage to everyone around it. Pierre's ultimate, though, that was fun. Pierre's ultimate was really fun.
It's like a giant solar system, really. I mean, it's not even like
pretty
a solar
much.
system.
She would use her powers of magnetism to basically throw her shield around in a giant circle. And like I said before, Pierre's ultimate just upgraded to deal more damage in a bigger area.
Oh, that's upsetting. For her, I'm pretty sure this is her counter. Yeah, it's her counter. They call it the Max 1 Long Distance Toss / Fall Maiden.
Oh, oof. I honestly enjoyed Pierre's counter. It was actually pretty fun, just because you could easily get it in Eclipse mode. Like, all you had to do was get to the final area, or not even. You could just get to the first area, and you can counter everything. Like, if you time it, because in Eclipse mode solo, you would be surrounded. But you would be able to counter people. You would be able to counter the Beowulfs easily, because they would just stand around you, or they would surround you in a circle, and each one would take their turn attacking. So you could just constantly, like, if you timed it right, you could just constantly throw out your counter each time, and easily get it. And it would eventually upgrade into it bounces off other enemies. And it would stun them all. And if I'm correct, if you got Slugger, it would also do a team attack.
Yes, but that's what Slugger does for everyone.
Well, yeah, it would increase the chances of a team attack. But Pyrrha was just basically the full-on fighter. She would go in, attack a lot of times. If she had her ult, she would use it, deal a lot more damage. She was all about her combos and attacking. Her range attacks were pretty basic. It was just, she'd pull out a rifle and she would just be shooting constantly. Didn't do a lot of damage, but it had a lot of range. Never had like a ranged combo like the other characters, except Jean. It would just be a static boom, 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 boom. It was just a static basic attack for her ranged.
By the way, I wanted to touch base on the what you were talking about earlier with the combos. I believe her maximum combo at tier 1 is about 5-ish. Tier 2, it adds 3 to, well, no, about 4-ish. Then it adds 3 more at tier 2, dealing up to 695 damage. And then tier 3, it adds an additional heavy attack to her combo, doing a maximum of, holy shit, 1345, 1345 damage.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I was wrong on the part where she got a third attack. It was just a 1-2 heavy combo. Okay, that's fine.
So I guess last but not least, the human Japanese suicide machine himself. Well, I guess he's Chinese, so I mean, the Chinese suicide bomber himself, Ren.
Okay, let's get into Ren, because I got a bone to pick with Ren. Ren is by far the weakest starting character you can choose.
Literally one of the most worthless characters in the entire game.
He is tied with Yang at rank 1 on just how bad they are. in the beginning of the game. The only good thing about Ren in the beginning of the game was his ultimate. His ultimate, basically, he can jump around in a giant area and just attack. Like, he just jumps back and forth attacking. It's really effective if it's just two, yeah, because you don't get the extra attacks if it's just one. His ultimate would just be, he would basically go Neji from Naruto.
And he hits 5 times for 200 damage with each strike.
Yeah, and then it can be upgraded into attacking 8 times.
No, 7.
Oh, and
Then
really 7?
yeah, then tier 3, it's Ren now hits up to 10 times for 400 damage each strike. Of course, I was never dumb enough to go that high because you still can't hit the mutant Deathstalker.
Yeah, like he's really good in like mob attacks, and I'll talk about that in a second. He's really good in fighting lots of opponents in a short amount of time. His next tree, was it his heavy tree or his team attack tree?
It was his team attack tree. Some characters had their team attack tree closer to their ultimate. He was one of those people.
Yeah. So Ren's team attack was pretty fun. I enjoyed his team attack because he would just spin and shoot.
He was just twirls. Just twirls, having fun doing twirls.
Yeah.
Pulling off his best RWBY impression.
I think he had the longest range in terms of team attacks. Because he would spin, and at max rank he would shoot his guns.
No, he would slash with them.
You sure? Because I'm pretty sure he would shoot with them too.
I'm sorry, but that's tier 3.
Yeah, at max ranks he would spin and shoot, granting him the largest. His range for attacks was the largest, honestly, except for his basic combos like his ranged attacks and his basic attacks. Everything else, he had a long range for everything.
Well, I mean, his range attack wasn't necessarily long; it was more like wide.
Well, like I said, the only things that he didn't have long range on were his basic attacks and his ranged attacks. Like, in fact, his ranged attacks were short range. His ranged attacks were short range compared to everyone else. So let's get into that. His ranged attacks, he would just be attacking with his submachine guns.
But it was pretty weird because
it happened in fast succession. I think they did like 3 attacks per first 2 attacks, and then it upgraded to about 2 just at his final attack.
I can't find his range attacks on here.
But his range attacks were weird. A lot of the time, you would just be attacking with his first 2 attacks and then dashing. You never really wanted to finish his final attack. I remember going through the trouble of trying to figure out what his ranged attack upgrade was, which is in his passive tree.
That's so weird.
Just double...
His rage attack isn't on his wiki. That's stupid.
He had an ability where I think it was his Hunter Mastery one, where you had to kill a certain amount of I think it was 250 enemies with his ranged attacks.
Not just 200.
Oh, it was just 200. He had to kill 200 enemies with his ranged attacks, but all it did was increase the amount of hits. Yeah, he fires twice as many bullets. It's pretty simple. But then again, it would complete because without that, his range attacks looked wonky. And then as soon as you got his ranged attack mastery, it filled out all his attacks. Like his first two attacks looked fuller, and then at the final part of his range attack combo, he would end up spinning. But before, it didn't look too full. After you got his range attack mastery, it turned into an actual circle that looked a lot better than what it did before.
But for the most part, if you're using his range attack, you would jump up in the air and do it, because then you could hit.
Oh yeah, you.
Actually,
yeah.
rock a lotus shape if you really want to get accurate with it.
Yeah, and that was another thing I did a lot with Rin when trying to do his range attack thing. I just went ahead and skipped both the first attacks and just dashed R2'd, and you would hit a lot of things in just a general circle, which was awesome. I really enjoyed playing Rin at the later levels. In his early levels, he's absolute garbage.
Alright, so that was all the characters in the game.
Nope, because we still didn't talk about Rin. Heavy attack.
Oh, right, yeah. Literal suicide strike.
Yeah, so Rin had a similar triangle to Jean. He had a
you
heavy
put it in the
AoE
opposite
hit.
direction, maybe.
He had a similar range on his triangle. At rank 1, it just did a basic blast from his palm that did an area. At rank 2 is
At
when...
tier 1, it does 700 damage? Oh my god, that is just ridiculous.
Yeah. At tier 2, he can sacrifice 50%... No, he can sacrifice 25% of his aura to increase the range and damage, and it would end up stunning.
For those of you that don't know, aura in this game is your HP. So, you're basically killing yourself.
Aura in RWBY Grimm Eclipse was like a shield,
Yeah,
and then
you finally
had...
got it right.
Yeah, finally, but I'm still saying RWBY. Aura in this game is like a shield, and then you had, I think, about 3 hits just normally, if you didn't get the survivor trait. Oh, by the way, did I forget? The survivor trait is a necessity on Rin.
Increase that aura, big boy.
Getting health on Rin early was a big thing. Like, you needed the health in order to survive with his abilities, because at tier 2 on his heavy attack, it would start taking health. I believe it branched off into 2 separate paths on tier 3, right?
Yeah, the improved aura charge and the draining aura charge. Oh dear God.
Yes, so the improved aura charge at rank 3 was it would deal more damage, but it would also stun. It still took the 25, and it would just stun and do more damage. After you got his heavy attack mastery, though, it would increase its size exponentially, and it takes 50% of your health instead of 25.
Yeah.
So it was huge. It was the size of probably RWBY's ult once you got heavy mastery 3. It was.
Oh, what you got? Mastery. Okay. Yeah. Never. I'm sorry. Never mind. Go on.
Yeah, his ult his heavy at rank 3 was the size of about RWBY's ult, because it would just be this giant circle of damage, and if you had Slugger, it would help, because Jean's heavy attack, his heavy attack combo that I pulled off a lot was his dash triangle. That was fast, but it didn't have the range like Rin's.
Yeah, I just realized, Nora is the only one on Juniper who doesn't really focus on team attacks. It's like, she's the one finishing them off for the most part.
Yeah. Because 2 of them were, like, meant for, like, their triangles, and then Pierre is just a combo master, and Nora's the ranged character. But
Ren loses half of his max aura when he has that one though.
yeah, it was a lot of give and take. Like you would give a lot of HP in order to do a shit ton of damage in a large range. You would give up HP to attack, but in return you got a shit ton of damage, and you would hand out basically team attacks. But like I said, if you wanted to play Ren, he was really hard to play in the early levels. He's one of the worst characters to play in the early levels. By the end of the game, he's god tier because his attacks do so much damage in a huge range, especially his ult. But you can't use your ult against the Deathstalker for some reason. Which is dumb, because I think attacking for 4,000 damage should happen.
So now that we've discussed every character and, you know, their abilities and such, any suggestions for Rooster Teeth? Mist, are you still here? I guess he stepped out for a bit. But any DLC ideas? Any sequel ideas? Like, what do you want to see in the game?
I know it's going to be impossible, but I would like to see some updated graphics. Like, right now in the game looks a little bit too pastel. Just like one tone, not enough shadows. I would like to see, you know, a visual update, but I know that's going to be impossible. Because they would have to go through the entire game and then recolor everything and stuff. But I would love to see a recolor of it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Definitely adding another story to the game. Because like I said, we've played through the story so many times. We know where all the hidden artifacts are. Granted, of course, we're always trying to steal it from each other. We know where all the artifacts are. We know the entire story. I know where every artifact is.
Sure you do. That's why I get there first.
No. But we know if they can just do another story, like if they could just add another story to it, that'd be awesome.
Give us a villain side.
No. Oh, please no. No.
Yes. A villain side.
The villains. How would that play though?
It doesn't have to be for this. It could be like for a separate story though. Like for example, give us something like Overwatch has with their events. Like show us how give us the chance to play as like Cinder and her team as they infiltrate Beacon. Like do something adventurous, you know? Give it more feel to it.
Well, I think the main appeal of Cinder and her team is being dicks. Like, their main appeal is being secretive because, like, okay, for something like Pokemon, everyone wants to play the bad team. Everyone wants to be on Team Rocket. Everyone wants to be on Team.
Bro, no one wants to be on
Skull.
Team Rocket. They want to be on Team Skull, Team Galactic. Bro, I want to be on Team
No, you don't want to be
on.
I don't want to. I don't want to be on fucking Team Galactic. Hell no.
Hell yeah.
I know what they tried doing. They tried destroying this universe entirely. Like, you think Team Flare was bad? Like, nah, fuck it, just destroy the world. Nah, Team Galactic tried destroying the entire universe. Hell no.
Universe had it coming.
What about Team Flare? You don't want to be on Team Flare who's gonna destroy the world?
Yes, destroy the world. And all
You just said fuck Team Flare though.
No, I didn't. I said I want to be on Team Flare personally.
Anyway, just add it. If they added another story, that'd be good.
give us more in-depth look at a more in-depth look at Dr. Moreau, and what caused the fall of his lab, what happened during that time period.
Well, they already
that drove him.
they already explained that.
But
I would just like to see another story. I would just
in true RWBY fashion, it was just incredibly vague. Like they just looked like they just half-assed everything, just threw the information in there. Ow.
Oh. I don't really give a crap about Dr. Moreau. You never really saw him. He was just always a character. Now, if you would be a boss, like an actual boss you would have to face, that would be cool. But it would actually be really
Eclipse
cool.
2, The Revenge of Dr. Moreau.
I mean, if you think about it, if they were to create another story, they can easily add Dr. Moreau into it and have him be the final boss, where he's ingesting his own serum that he injected into the Grimms. Yeah. If he came out as a boss where he was injecting himself like with his own serum like Bane, that'd be pretty cool, and you're just fighting this beast version of Dr. Moreau. That'd be awesome. But something that they could add more
the
teams.
Nutcracker. That giant thing, that giant Grimm that Ren and friends fought in volume, I want to say 5, maybe 4. I think it was volume 4. The horseman thing. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun to fight. But yeah, if they could just add more story, like another storyline, that'd be cool. It'd be really fun if they just add another storyline to the game, because
I don't know.
they only have the one story. If they could add another story, that'd be great. It doesn't have to be a continuation of Dr. Moreau's. It could just be an entirely new storyline. I'd really enjoy that. They could also add more teams.
5 skins, maybe. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, adding the Volume 5 skins for Team Ranger would actually be really cool too.
Give Pura a ghost skin.
Oof, no, too soon.
Add Penny into the game as a like one of those DLC unlockable characters or whatever. Like you can either make DLC, have us pay for it, make some money to fund a new project, or just make it a secret unlockable, and then just have her be busted beyond all reason. And like when she uses her ultimate, she just yells, "I'm combat ready!" Hey-ya!
Oh my god! No, that'd be her taunt. Like better and better, better and better, better and better,
no,
better and better.
Butter and butter. Get it right.
No, it's bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter.
That's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
But yeah, in summary, I would like to see another story. It doesn't have to be a continuation of the Dr. Moreau story. If it was, make him Bane. Just have him ingest his own serum to the point where he becomes this monster that you end up having to fight.
Or better yet, have him fuse with a Grimm.
That'd be cool too.
Turn him Cinder on
adding more characters would be awesome. Like I said, the Impossible, maybe update the graphics just a little bit, like to Season 5 quality.
You know, I got a bone to pick with Rooster Teeth personally, because this has honestly been pissing me off. I am a huge fan of Twitter, okay? I'm almost always on Twitter for the most part of my life, because that's where I am posting my content and stuff. Well, I guess not really posting my content, posting links to my content, to my stuff. And I notice that every now and again, Rooster Teeth will be holding a Steam sale saying, "Oh, RWBY Grimm Eclipse is this much off," trying to get people to, buy it. But, like, people are not going to buy it unless you start evolving the game. It can't simply just be, like as it is now, because no one's going to buy it. It's boring the first time around if you don't have friends, or if you're not, trying to go for the platinum. But, like, No one's going to buy. Just stop with the sales and start actually working on the game. But yeah, that's gonna mark that one off real quick. Next part on the outline, let's talk about what direction we think the show is going and whether Miles and Carrie are making it better or worse.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't finished the latest season. I just have a couple
Well, I mean,
episodes
they
left.
started after Monty died, which was around season 2-ish, I believe. I don't really remember when.
Monty?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had to think about that. Yeah. Honestly, season 1 of RWBY was great. Season 2 of RWBY was great. It was sad to hear that he passed due to a medical error. It was really a sad day because RWBY was such a revolutionary thing into like, oh, there's a super popular anime, but it's 3D, but it works. But it was really sad to hear when Monty passed. I remember watching the video the day that he passed, and the lady announcing it was just in tears. I was like, wow. So I remember that day. My heart goes out to Rooster Teeth for that, honestly.
Yeah,
But
I
the
could say
show's
same thing.
fun. Like the show's fun. I remember watching it on. I remember seeing it on Netflix. I'm like, what is RWBY? And then it had the silhouettes of the girls. And I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it because I thought it was gonna be like this really girly anime. Like, no, thank you. Then I ended up watching it. I'm like, oh my god, why is this amazing?
And I personally got into watching RWBY after I seen clips of it on YouTube from like different AMVs and stuff. I was also pretty sad to hear that Monty had passed. It was a really dark day, I guess you could say, for Rooster Teeth as a whole because they lost one of their gifted writers. And frankly, if I'm being very honest, I heard rumors that Monty had like already worked in advance for the later volumes of RWBY, but I get this distinct feeling that Miles and Carrie, whoever are in charge of making the show now, that they're just straying from the path, putting their own twist on it, because it doesn't have that good old Monty touch. It feels like they're just trying to figure out, oh, how should we do this? How should we make this happen? How would this person react? Because they've changed a lot ever since he died. A lot. For example, the design of Yang, for one. I still, I don't know. Maybe getting her arm cut off gave her immediate liposuction. I don't know, but like, I don't think that boobs are supposed to go inward. I believe that they're supposed to grow outward. But then again, I'm not a woman. I can't tell you these things. But there's that. There's the fact that all the fight scenes feel like they don't really have meaning. As opposing to the fact that Raven versus Cinder, that was a thing. That was awesome. I loved it. I made a video.
I didn't see it yet. Thanks for the spoilers.
Okay, first of all, you already know that happens because I made a video on it months ago.
I didn't see the video, so
You didn't have to see the video. You just have to know that I made it. Second of all,
I didn't even know you made a video, so ha.
Anyway, but like, you had this whole montage of certain characters training, for this inevitable end of volume, and then like all of those characters basically just went to shit because, like, It's just they ruined so many characters already. We still don't know where Neo is, even though she clearly has a voice actress, yet still hasn't said a single word. I feel like somehow, somewhere, Vince Russo is somehow behind this project, secretly fucking it in the ass like he does with everything else he touches, and he's just filling it with this bullshit drama, and then we're asking these questions, yo, what are Miles and Carrie doing? And then Vince Russo pops up, swerve, bro, it was me all along. But, like, honestly, it doesn't have that traditional Montione touch. It doesn't make you sit on the edge of the seat and say, wow, this is interesting. I should pretty much watch more of this. It just feels like personally, like how I felt about My Hero Academia in the later season, and how they just keep throwing out perfectly good character after perfectly good character in terms of villain-wise. Now, we don't even know what the villains are up to. For all we know, they could be, well, I mean, Kush already knows because he already read the manga, but...
The manga's amazing! Oh, I can't wait for the arc. I can't wait for what happens after this current, after the, license arc. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I already know where they're going with this. I know how they're gonna end the season because I read the manga. I hate saying that. Oh, I know what's happening because I read the manga. That's just because there's
it's
so much like.
To say the least.
Exactly. I hate saying that, but I'm just hyped for what, because I know where the anime's direction is going. I want to see how they put what I know in the anime. I know how this season is going to end because it's going to be a real. If they don't end it on what I'm thinking, it's just a lost opportunity. Because it would be an amazing ending to this season, and then just immediately start on the next arc, on the next season. So I hate trying to sound like, oh, I know what's happening. Oh, the manga's better. Oh, there's like, no, the manga's not better. Yes, the manga has some.
I mean, when you really look at it, I've heard this many times in my time in the My Hero Academia fandom, but the anime itself doesn't stray too far from the manga, so it's not really.
No.
You know,
the anime is actually on point with the manga. The one thing that I would change, like there was a couple things in the manga that were different from the show, like the whole fight with Muscular. If I'm thinking correctly, Deku injured his leg trying to save Koda first. Like, Muscular landed a hit on his leg, making his leg unusable, but he still used it in the fight during Muscular. They didn't do that in the show. Like, it's little things that happened in the manga that are different from the show. But for the most of the point, yeah, but for most of the show, they are on point with the manga, and if they're going to end this season the way I think they're going to end this season on a really important part in the manga, then by all means go ahead, because I cannot wait for episode 24.
You know, and honestly just pisses me off that we don't, like, maybe if Montiome had, like, made a manga for RWBY, like so that we could understand what's going on, giving Miles and Carrie like something to go off of, then that would be awesome. But yes, we are. And thank you for not contributing for like the entire video. That's totally awesome.
I mean, literally, I don't know what to say. I think that it's a good show, all in all, but everything has flaws.
Yes, everything has flaws, and
the
it's
game,
our job to discuss
all opinion. In my opinion, the game was really, it was good at first, but there was so much waste.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten the platinum had it not been for me.
Yeah, but that's exactly why I wouldn't have, because it's boring after a while.
But then
it's the same over and over maps with the same over and over missions.
You got the platinum. And admit it, you're proud of that fact. Anywho, if RWBY had a manga, that would totally be great because at least then I could, read
Yeah,
that.
it would be a blueprint for the writers to follow. It would at least be something to help the writers go along.
But now they're just turning one of Monty's treasures into just tethered garbage, I guess. But that's just how we personally feel about it. So Kush, overall, good, bad, Miles and Carrie's job with RWBY?
I'm still open. Like I like the story. It's just the obvious writing flaws. Not gonna say that I'm an English major, but my sister is. So I know a lot about reading. I know a lot about the English major or English language because my sister, being an English major, is something that I have behind me. But yeah, I like the show. If they can, just add more characters or a new story to Grimm Eclipse, that'd be amazing. They don't have to go above and beyond and update some of the graphics to season 5, but just add like another unique story. It's called Grimm Eclipse. It's not supposed to it's not supposed to follow the story of the game. Just create either a sequel story where Dr. Malo is the final boss. He didn't die in the explosion of his lab. He's freaking kill Bane. That to the point where he's absorbing his own.
Well, actually, we don't really know if he was actually in the lab. For all we know, that could have just been like I don't know, Dr. Giroir's brain trapped in one of the machines. Maybe he could have been somewhere else, watching over things.
In other words, an AI programmed into the system.
Exactly.
But yeah, so if they want the game to be more successful, start working on it more. If they can add more characters like Team Stark, that'd be great. Like young Team Stark. But then again, they would also have to go into Rose's background.
That's another thing I want to know. When are we going to hear about Summer Rose?
No,
Yeah.
They've been so
never.
dull and bland about her the whole time.
I mean, we get the fact that she's like a super mom and basically the greatest scythe wielder.
Better than
of
Raven.
Brendan.
Well,
Okay,
everybody's better
okay.
than Raven.
I have mixed
She left.
emotions on that statement alone because in her own
She's
right,
a better mom than Raven.
In her own right, Raven is a form of super mom. She's a super strict mom who wants her children to grow up strong. Well, I guess not children, child in this case. She wants them to grow up strong.
Watch Raven watch Yang and Tai Yang and Raven had another child, and Raven just
I'm
took
gonna
it.
put it like this. Tai Yang is literally the biggest man whore of the fucking series so far.
I mean, you're not wrong. I feel like he tried to get with Crow at one point, but it was like a little drunken antic, and because Crow never gets drunk.
Fuck, man, I love Crow. Crow's amazing.
I feel like he just tried to hit on Crow a little, and then that just set him off, and then, but like,
God, I could already just see the fanfics.
Hey, Birdie, you got something for me?
Crow, we shouldn't be doing this. It's okay. No one has to know. I can already see the fucking fanfics.
Yo, I got a fanfic theory for you. What if the reason why Crow drinks is because Tai Yang once hit on him? But anyway, what would you do if you were in charge of RWBY Grimm Eclipse?
Oh, new story.
definitely.
I'd be working on another story, honestly. Like, you don't have to go, like, the game, I like the game's graphics. While it's still a little flat in some areas with just, you know, regular colors, that's fine. That's how RWBY was in the beginning. It was just colors on top of colors. It was fine. So if they could just add like a new story, that'd be great. They don't have to use the season 5 animation. Just go for frickin' the game's same graphics, but you know, just a new story, new maps.
If I were in charge of RWBY Grimm, I would have to make it a sequel. I guess not really a sequel. It's just like a branch off story, like something that's just completely not canon or in some way affiliated with the original Grimm Eclipse, and it would be an open world type setting. We'd call it World of Remnants.
Okay, see, now you're just trying to go into Dynasty Warriors 9. No, we're not having one of those.
No,
we're not having Dynasty. We're not having a Dynasty War. We were totally making a Dynasty War.
No, both of you shut up. Both of you shut up right now, okay? We're not going
We're not
Dynasty
making
Warriors
open
level.
world.
We're going...
Everyone wants open world.
On.
No, just stick with what you have.
Listen,
just have a
no, I'm
flowing
not.
story.
A RWBY open world game.
I don't mean
would
it
be
like
awesome.
that, though. I don't mean it like that, though. I'm talking about like Star Ocean till the end of time type thing. Like Star Ocean, it's I guess. I mean, you really wouldn't call it open world. It's a JRPG. It has a wide land where you will walk around and stuff, but like it's not open world per se. It's just RPG wise. Just turn it into like one of those and have us go around meeting all these people. Like Onigiri. Who else remembers Onigiri? Come on. Show of hands.
I played it for like a few
I have
seconds.
Just make it something like that, where everyone can just interact and just, you know, goof off. At least people would be willing to play that, and they'd still have fun with it, because right now there are still people playing Onigiri, and I had the game about like 2 years ago. So it it should be fine if you make a game like that and call it World of Remnant. I love how you both blew up as soon as I said World of Remnant.
Yeah.
Like it's some real world issue.
No. It's not about that. It's about that making RWBY like an open world. I wouldn't like it. No, I would rather just have, you know, the regular storyline to where you would, you know, just follow the story. Just keep RWBY Grimm Eclipse as it is. I mean, they can totally, if they wanted to, they could make, you know, an open. I'm so done with open world games. It's like I don't like open world games.
You're not though. Eventually, they're gonna come out with one that's just gonna be off the charts good, but it's gonna be like $120 because let's just face it.
Look, the only open world game that I will accept is Skyrim.
You only play Monster Hunter World. We already established that. Kush.
What about it? I love Monster Hunter World. You know what? Okay, if they can somehow incorporate RWBY and Monster Hunter, where you're just going out on quests killing giant fucking,
That's basically what I'm suggesting, though.
We don't need another fucking crossover. That definitely would not make sense.
No. I mean, no. Maybe not a crossover.
Oh, you mean like the Behemoth crossover?
Monster Hunter. Make your own brand of Monster Hunter like gameplay, where like you and some friends go out and kill giant Grimm. Like the one we saw at the beginning of Volume 5. Like that one. Or you can kill the Null Baki, or whatever the hell it was called. The head... Well, I mean, it's not really a headless horseman, but like the horseman Grimm. That could be...
Anyway, if they just add on to RWBY Grimm... if they just add on to the game
You know, with new story and a couple new characters, that'd be fine. Then they can at least start pushing, like, oh, new content for this game after, what, 2 years?
This is the 3rd year anniversary for RWBY Grimm Eclipse.
We have a new story! Hell yeah!
Fucking finally. Oh, but we don't have new areas, so you're just gonna run back through the original map, and that's whatever I would literally.
Bro, but that's fine
like
though. That's fine though, because we then our voices have been heard. Some characters that we could maybe have asked for. Like hold a poll, see what characters we would want in the game, then and put those characters in. Give them like Sasuke's moves. If you have Mercury, give him Sasuke's moveset. If you have I don't know, Emerald, make her style less of a fighting and more of a you know, distract, harass type thing. Put in some new bosses. I don't know. But like just do whatever. But at least add.
Main thing I would want to see is just mainly the newer Grimm, like just the newer ones that have been introduced so far.
Yeah, the Milwaukee, that weird rock.
You don't see that
thing.
big ass gigantic bird thing that RWBY cut the head off of at the first season.
That's what I've been saying. I was like, when I first played through the story, I was like, yo. But where's the Nevermore, though?
When do I get to hear the badass music and I get to cut the head off with like a cinematic? Nah, you don't get that. You know what you get? A fucking... I hate that
a Death Stalker! It had to be a Death Stalker!
A mutated Death Stalker. You can't leave that part out. It's very, very important!
I don't see how. It's just an even more annoying creature to fight. That
Exactly.
Apparently, it's another
As
creature
John
that
said
Red
whenever he
can't hit.
grabbed onto its fucking piercer in the show. That's how I felt whenever I saw it. Oh!
I mean, at least give us new weapons looking skins, I guess. You know, like Overwatch does with like, changing the cosmetics of the skins.
That would be a good idea too.
Yeah, make it like a cross tag thing where you have like a lot of skins for the characters. I mean, I say cross tag, but like.
And I wouldn't mind an updated costume pack, like where you get the new Yang, the new RWBY, just as a costume. Now there's a brand new character, just as a costume.
Yo, I got you. I know exactly what we need. We need Ghost Pyrrha. We need Armless Yang. We need Stabbed Blake.
No, we need Yang with a fucking arm! With her robot arm!
Alright. And when she takes damage, it falls off. Like how clever would that be? If like when she takes damage, oh, lost my arm, but like her attack increases by 100%. And then each hit does like massive stun damage. Because like, I mean, she's basically a Saiyan. She gets stronger every time she fights. So
No, what do you mean? She gets stronger every time someone touches her hair.
She gets stronger every time she gets punched, so she's literally fucking a Saiyan. So it
Okay,
doesn't
so
even
if
matter
she
the
lost her
more
arm,
damage you dish
she would
out.
have gone Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, okay?
Yeah,
She lost her arm, she should have gone Super Saiyan Blue.
Think about it this way. If they give her a skin with her having blue hair, she's already Super Saiyan Blue.
Okay, now here's my question about the newest season, though. Am I the only one that noticed that she's actually trying to control her rage that comes out of her semblance?
No, I know.
Well, that's what her dad was trying to teach her when she was,
I know.
young.
She's turning into the new Kratos.
Her dad was like, "You have the most powerful semblance, and yet
You need to learn to control it,
and he was like, "You need to." He's like, "You have the most powerful semblance, but you'd rather waste it on petty child tantrums." And she's like, "Fuck."
You're right.
But I mean,
Then
like,
I'll
with a power like that, though, how can you not treat it as a tantrum? Because that's basically what it's meant to be. Like, maybe if, like, at this point, they would just be... The fact that they even use the word Super Saiyan in their song for her is proof that they're just ripping off Dragon Ball Z. So at some point, I hope that when she actually channels her rage and not has her temper tantrum where it's to the point where she can control it, that instead of her hair lighting up on fire like the yellow, the light, and the fire and stuff, it's actually just blue to show that she controls it. I mean, it wouldn't suit her character, but it would definitely suit the theme of her character. But anyway,
but no, I'm like that ass. She's turning into Kratos in the newest game.
No. What I think is she's kind of shifting into the Stone Cold Steve Austin phase of her life.
No. If you read the comic of God of War, then you would understand what I'm saying.
I don't read comics.
Well, I got the digital comic for getting the digital deluxe version of God of War. And whenever you read it, Kratos would go out every day and he would go get beat up. He wouldn't fight back because he's trying to control his rage. Every time he fucked up and he got too pissed off and killed something, he felt defeated. So, in a way, she's becoming Kratos because his job throughout the whole comic before the game even starts is for him to control his rage. Then he tries to teach Atreus how to control it. Because whenever Atreus swings and he's pissed off, he's like, your anger, you need to learn to control it. It can be a weapon, but it can destroy you.
Alright, well... Oh, by the way, the name I was thinking of was Nuka-Lavi. The Nuka-Lavi. That stupid...
Nuka-Cola.
That horseman type Grimm. But anyway,
Nuka-Cola.
I guess that is a good place to leave off this discussion because pretty interesting topics that we covered. Yeah, I think that was overall.
Even though I didn't contribute until the end of the
great again.
Make RWBY great again. Confirmed.
Yep. Donald Trump of
How
fucking
about we
games.
build a wall to keep all of the Grimm out?
Can I? You know, that's actually, they did that.
I mean, they did do that.
Build a wall to keep all the haters out. Oh wait, they did that in China.
Build a wall to keep Miles and Carrie away from RWBY. I don't know. Build a wall to keep Vince Russo away from RWBY. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this discussion.
Make a wall to keep Enzo Amore from the rap business.
That's gonna be it for all this discussion. I mean, no one really joined this year, but that's fine, I guess. Hopefully someone will see this in the foreseeable future. Whatever. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more gaming content like this. Also go and make sure that you're checking out all my other content, because let's face it, probably better than this one. Then I'll see you all again on the next one. Take care and goodbye for now.